For many of us, our cell phones hold the key to unlocking our lives, from bank accounts to credit cards, where we live, even who our family members are. That's why we were pretty surprised to learn about this. An online police auction website based in Maryland got caught auctioning cell phones packed with people's personal information. Tonight, Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Flack is asking the question, is this still happening?
This one still has a bit of a charge.
At the University of Maryland in College Park, researchers say they uncovered evidence police blue may have become the new black market for privacy leaks.
So if somebody gets into my phone, they're not just getting my information, they're getting my family's information, my friends' information.
If they have access to your phone, they could literally send an email as you. They are you.
Which is why what computer science assistant professor Dave Levin and his grad students found is so troubling.
Some look like older models, but they are also like more recent models as well.
They ordered cell phones from a Frederick, Maryland-based company called Propertyroom.com, which calls itself the country's leading police auction website. Propertyroom.com resells old law enforcement equipment and property seized in closed investigations as revenue generators for police and sheriff's departments across the country.
So that says Washington State Police property evidence.
Levin and his team discovered in many cases unlocking the phones themselves was not all that hard.
In terms of the pins were pretty bad. Sadly, there you go. This got us into some of the phones. And then some folks actually used 6 digits, which you'd think would be a real step in the right direction, except for the fact that it was just all 6s.
Some didn't have a passcode at all. One even came with a sticky note that had the passcode written right on it by investigators. That wasn't nearly as shocking as what came next.
Julio, what did you find on these phones?
Anything that you can imagine. We found pictures, videos, documents, government-issued IDs, credit card histories. It was crazy.
Of the 228 cell phones the UMD team bought, the grad students were able to pull personal information off of 61 of them, or more than 1 out of every 4. And it wasn't always the criminals' information. Levin believes several of the phones were used in identity theft crimes.
And in those cases, we had the victim's identity information, credit reports, pictures of their IDs, social security numbers, everything that you might imagine, literally the very definition of personally identifiable information.
Propertyroom.com declined to be interviewed for our story, but told us in a statement, we do our best to continually review our processes to ensure they are keeping up with the fast-changing digital landscape. And after learning what the UMD team found, the company has updated our processes to ensure that no smartphones or electronics will be auctioned on Propertyroom.com that aren't wiped. Levin thinks there's a much safer solution than that.
Just don't sell them, just destroy them, I think is by far the safest thing.
A law enforcement source tells WUSA 9 because there is no legal mandate for these police and sheriff's departments to wipe these cell phones before passing them off to these auction sites, it's just unrealistic to think they're going to take the time to do that, especially at the smaller departments with greater time demands. There is an expectation these auction sites are going to wipe cell phones and electronics before selling them to the public. Eric Flack, WUSA 9.
By the way, Property Room isn't the only police auction site out there. It's just the one the University of Maryland team tested. The majority of the phones the researchers examined had no visible indicators of which department they came from. None were linked to departments in our area.